into Google. If someone shares something with you or sends something to you via email, you cannot open it if you're not signed in to your school Google. Same thing if you're trying to watch a video on YouTube, oftentimes you cannot view it unless you're signed into your DeSoto account. Now you have access to your apps. Just keep in mind with your school Gmail or with your school Google account, you do not have Gmail. You would use Outlook for your email. This is a good place to store images, a large amount of files. Just keep in mind that you have 15 gigabytes of memory, and that's throughout your entire Google Drive, so anything that you've saved. One thing I also want to note in that is in your Google Drive, it keeps everything. Even if you throw something in your trash, it is still considered part of your storage. So what you have to do is go into your trash and physically go in and click items and say, yes, I am done with this, delete it, like remove it from my trash. It's not as easy to dump your trash as it is in other programs, but just keep in mind that it does get it out of your drive, but it actually doesn't go away. So you can go back and restore things that you've thrown in your trash, but it does still keep in your memory until you dump that. So within your drive, just like in OneDrive, you're going to see all of your files. So if I go into Word and go into Open and go to my OneDrive, then I'm only going to see all of my Word docs, and that's not the same here. So I see all of my files here. This is in here. You can create a new file in any program. You can also upload files that either you've received or that were created in like Office's counterpart, or videos that you want to upload to your Google Drive. So for instance, if I made something in Word and I wanted to upload it, like this game board that should look a little familiar to you guys, was originally created in PowerPoint. But I wanted something to where when you clicked on it, you could go directly to the links without having to present it, to go into presentation mode. So I wanted it to be in a Google Doc. For those of you who have had me before, you know I'm a big Office fan. Google is not my favorite. I just don't think that outside of school and personal that it's used as much. But there is a time and a place to use it. There is some benefits to it. I will admit to that. One of the advantages that Google had over Office for a long time was that it was web-based. So you could log into Google and have access to your files from anywhere. Well, now Office has that same thing. So they really can be used interchangeably. That's also the other nice thing is if you're really used to working in Google Docs and let's say you get a job and that you're working in Word, the buttons look similar and it's the same line of logic that you would apply in a Word document that you would apply in Google Docs. So keep that in mind as well. In your drive, if you want to see something that someone has shared with you, you need to go here as well. It's not going to show up in your drive unless you like make a copy of it and like save it to your drive. That's the same as in OneDrive. There is my drive and then this that shows like what's been shared with me as well. You can see your recent ones here as well. Let's go back up here to this new. So this is how you would make a folder. So I think your next task is to create a folder or to kind of clean up your Google Drive. So go through and delete things or move them into folders. So here I'm going to move something from my files to a folder. So I'm just going to drag it and drop it. So it says, Wonderland Amusement Park job application has been moved from my drive to 6th computers. If that was done by accident, I could have chose undo, but it's fine. So now it's just out from hanging out in my drive. Here in new, you have your usuals. You have Google Docs, which is just like Word, Google Sheets, Excel, Google Slides, PowerPoint, and Google Forms. That's a great thing to use to survey people, and it collects your data into a Google Sheet. So you could easily sort that information or track that information. I think you've seen most of this is a good, easy way to make a website. Jamboard it's a whiteboard. It's an online whiteboard. So you could, if you're working in a group, you could share results back and forth. There's some other apps in the Connect More apps. I don't use a lot of these, but I could see where you might, like on a class project, anything like that. So here's like where you can make a diagram. You guys, so if you took 7th grade computers last year, we used Audacity to create your jingles, and it's just a really easy sound editing program. So if you're assigned to do a podcast or you just want to make a simple sound bite, this would be a great little add-in for that. Here's an easy video recorder. Guys, there are so many options here, but your MacBooks have so many cool built-in things as well to help you, but just kind of wanted to show you these options as well. So take advantage of these free ones, definitely. So guys, as you're going through and creating folders and deleting files or moving files into folders, one thing you might want to use is this preview option. So in this view, it's not actually open, so you don't want to get confused and go here and X out. So you could just go back here, and then you could move that file or delete it or whatever. This allows you to get a shareable link. This allows you to share that file with someone. And here you have these 3 actions as well, so you can easily rename something or make a copy of it. Same thing, this will allow you to download something that maybe has been shared with you. And if you don't like this view, you can change it to list view, and it will give you all of your documents in order. You can put it in alphabetical order. You can do it by you can sort it by last modified. Many different options here. After this little quick overview, you're going to go to a video where it talks about Google Chrome extensions. And to do that, you would just go here to your Chrome store. So you could just Google search it, or here in your apps up here, you could just click Web Chrome Store. So if there is something in the video that you really like, you think would be helpful to you, install it as an extension here. Real quick before we get to the Chrome extensions, I have one tip to share with you. While we are in this mode of learning and while you're using your MacBooks a lot, you're probably going to have a bunch of tabs that you're opening every day. And so that's time consuming. Even if you have bookmarks, you can create a folder. At the beginning of each day, you can just open your folder and it would launch all of these websites. Let me show you here. So you 2-finger click on this gray bar here and go to Add Folder. And I might name it Daily School Tabs. And if I have stuff that I have bookmarked that I'd like to include in that, I can just drag it and drop it into that. And then if I open up something else here, like here's my office, I can select that and drag and drop. Same thing with my typing.com, etc., whatever. So what I would do is when I came to school, I can two-finger click on the tab, and I would say open all, and it would launch those at once. So instead of having to click on your bookmarks or logging in, whatever, it's just there.
If you're a student, you know time management and productivity are super important. So much of this video will focus on free productivity extensions. In fact, all of the extensions are free. So with that said, let's start with some of the best Chrome extensions for productivity. And first up is Bitly, my go-to link shortener. Now this is going to be a handy extension for you if you need to create shortened links for aesthetic purposes, or if you need to create custom URLs for a project. Now I recommend creating a free Bitly account before you start shortening links. Then from any page that you want to link, just hit the Bitly extension. A pop-up on the right-hand side will appear with a shortened link that you can copy and share. It'll tell you the title of the web page, and then underneath that, you can customize the link. The extension is called Dualist, and it essentially creates a split screen or a dual monitor if you don't have a second screen. So here's how it works. All you have to do is click the Dualist extension, and then select your preferred screen dimensions here. And blammo, your screen is now a split screen, and you can adjust the ratios here too by dragging on a window and resizing it.
I think this will really serve you well during remote learning so that you can watch a video and do work at the same time.
Okay, this next extension I'm including in the productivity category because you can think of it as a good kickstart to your day, and that's Momentum. Momentum is a way to enhance your Chrome tab. So rather than seeing this normal new tab page from Chrome that is uninspiring to say the least, Momentum offers an alternative option. It's a replacement of that boring new Chrome tab. Momentum displays a new background image and quote every single day to keep you inspired. Plus, you can add to-do lists on this tab too, and your reminders for the day, as well as a snapshot of the weather. Alright, rounding out my productivity extensions is Pocket. Now, I've mentioned Pocket before, and for good reason. It's a massive time saver. Now, just like with some of the other extensions, I recommend you create a free Pocket account first, and I recommend you download the companion apps for Pocket. So if you're scrolling the web and come across an article, or say someone sends you an article but you don't have time to read it right away, simply save it to Pocket for later. So when you come across that article that you are going to use, say, for a project, just select the Pocket extension, and the link automatically saves to your Pocket account where you can read it at your leisure. Tool for grammar and spelling, and that's Grammarly. And this is another one where I recommend you set up a free account prior to diving into the extension. Now, the Grammarly extension can help you with spelling and grammar, as I said, but it also helps you with clear communication of your ideas. It looks out for things like tone and delivery in your writing, as well as helping you to determine if you're plagiarizing work without even knowing it. So it's kind of like having someone proofread your work for you, but in real time. The Grammarly extension works in any tab that you're writing in. So think when you're composing an email or typing out a school project, etc. As you type, it'll give you suggestions and corrections, as well as some word definitions too. Plus, Grammarly is now beta testing in Google Docs. Heck yeah! Alright, my last two picks for best Chrome extensions for students actually fall under their own categories, but they're just as useful. So first up, let's start with a citation generator extension, MyBib. That's right, this is an extension that generates citations for you in all kinds of different styles. My god, if I had this when I was in school.
Guys, there is actually a built-in bibliography generator in Microsoft Word as well, but I know that you guys use Chrome a lot when writing right now, so I thought I'd include this.
Game changer. So if you're citing an article for your paper, just click on the MyBib extension and then select your style. So MyBib has MLA, APA, AMA, and more. Sweet heavens, yes. So once you select the style you need, voila, your citation is formatted for you, just like that. Are you kidding me? Now, MyBib even tells you if the source is credible or not. You can then click on the citation itself to copy it, or you can save it to a project right from here, and that'll open up your MyBib Projects tab. So I do recommend creating an account if you want to keep everything extra organized. Is that not the coolest extension ever?